Hello and welcome back to part 2 of my reaction to the finale of Ted Lasso season 3. I adore this show with all of my soul. Let's get straight back into it.
Ticking, fucking tedious.
Sycophants all around him.
Trickery from Tart. The outside
Carlson.
of his boot to Rojas. So close.
No, I thought that went in!
Well, something happened.
Oh, maybe I'll break up with this man right now.
He's going to Cobb. And Hise scores past a diving.
I was worried about this. It's gonna be even better when we come back, right?
City have taken the lead against Liverpool.
It's okay. All right.
This happens, it's okay. Whether they win or come second, I'm fucking proud. Come on, Richmond.
And they've conceded. West Ham extend their lead.
Commentators curse. Like, even if you don't really care about football, this matters to your partner and your sort of stepson. I know they're not married. Like, you get engaged, you try. And if you can't, you say, this is your thing. I'll be upstairs and let you two enjoy it. Don't sit there sucking all of the enjoyment out of it. Not that anyone's enjoying this match right now.
Right now, all I want to do is let you gentlemen know what an absolute honor it's been to be your coach.
I'm gonna cry, okay?
Getting to work with, getting a front row seat to see the man y'all have become. And I want to thank you for your patience, and I love you guys. And I'm gonna miss y'all.
Me too. I'm gonna miss them, but I'm gonna miss this version of them and... If they all got a piece of the believe sign, because I will cry. Oh, they all... I'm okay, I love this fucking show. He had it under his captain's armband. I just really love this show. I'm fine. I was like, what was your team time tactic? We did a jigsaw.
And there it is. Number 4. Yeah? All right, let's bring it in.
Very emotional right now.
There's no place like home.
This is home too.
Man, there ain't a whole lot of places like AFC Richmond either.
It's a home, it's a family.
Captain.
The Greyhounds have come out for the second half. Audacious
Ooh,
from Tart.
ooh.
He shoots! Off the post!
Rebound, anyone?
Obisanya!
Oh my god!
Hughes!
Jesus Christ!
And Tart finally puts it away in the 51st minute, and Richmond have a lifeline. Yes, get in. Tart loses his marker.
I was worried they were going to intentionally foul him.
Richmond have been
Like, that's what they do with top strikers. Is his ankle still bad after last week?
That was professional from Tart. Not quite
Okay,
a dive,
good.
but not much of a foul either.
Knock it in, muchacho.
Sure.
Crochet, Capitan. What the fuck, bro?
Okay.
Just take it, mate. Oh, it'll be fun.
It'll be fun. Like, oh, Isaac taking penalties.
Oh, shit.
McAdoo to take the penalty.
I mean, I want him to so fucking badly. Oh, I love this. Because they're a team now. Like, can you imagine? I mean, I know Jamie hasn't been season 1 Jamie in a very long time. But season 1 Jamie thinking about voluntarily giving up a penalty that could be like glory shot.
Isaac McAdoo going to say it. This is madness.
Which will mean that the goalie hasn't been able to like study his penalties at all. Hasn't been able to look and see, right, well, McAdoo normally goes to the left, or he's more likely to go to the right. Like, they can study that kind of stuff, and yes, people will change it up, but you can kind of look at the psychology of it and think, well, he usually goes top right corner or whatever. This is uncharted territory.
Comeback is on. Oh, it's gone over the bar and into the stand.
It's okay, Isaac. We did a team thing and we love you.
Hang on a second.
Oh my god,
Mike Dean wants a closer look at something.
did the goalie come off his line? Because if the goalie came off his line before he kicked it, that's a redo. Oh my god, did he kick it so hard? It went through the net.
Mike Dean's calling it a goal.
The bloody net.
I think he did, Chris.
Oh god. The fucking death man is coming. I don't like this. It's nowhere good. Like, everything is on the line for him.
Take him out.
Yep.
Are you joking?
Get rid of him.
That's what I was worried about.
Remarkable, Ruben.
Fuck off.
Oh dear. Ugly scenes at
Okay,
Nelson Road.
so, like, we have to give Jamie's father a redemption arc. Jamie has to forgive his father, but Rupert gets to just be an out-and-out black and white villain? There are just some people who are not people you should have in your life. Rupert and James are one of them.
Rupert Manning.
That's a little small man who's lost everything. Wanker. His home that he loves. His ground that he loves.
A lob into the box.
I'm so stressed.
Who muffs it?
I might actually cry. I'm that stressed.
And it's 3-2. Heaven for the Hammers. Heartbreak for the home side.
What's happening in Manchester?
14 was offside. What?
VAR are checking the replay.
Sorry, when the team I'm not supporting gets a goal disallowed, it can be funny. Oh, he understood the offside rule. Oh my god, it took me forever because I'm just like, oh yeah, offside, that's a thing. Of course, Ted called that he was offside and none of them did.
Not a reflection on you.
He's running to the box.
Yeah, pass me the ball, pass me the ball.
Oh yeah, he's the distraction.
Robertson is unmarked.
Yeah, that's the thing from season 1 or 2 or whatever, but 1 I think.
Beautiful ball in. Richmond have done it.
I'm so happy. Oh, is Colin gonna be public with his boyfriend? Because that might finish me off. Oh, I'm so happy for him. I'm proud of him.
Lasso celebrating with his team.
You never know how to react when a white guy does the running man in front of him.
Yeah, that's what it was like in the video in the first episode, right?
Over to the Etihad Stadium to see the fate of the Premier League title.
Ah. Okay, it's not all over.
Man City are just too good. Yeah. You heading home for a cheeky visit?
Coming in second makes
Heading
sense.
home for good,
But they did their so best and it makes me so
Should
happy.
stay.
Yeah, sure.
So season 4, he can come back and they can win the whole goddamn thing. But coming second, Jesus Christ, I'm so fucking proud of them.
Ed, you're going home to your family, and
I'm staying with mine.
I actually want to stay with mine.
Because they seem to be suggesting that Ted's ex is going to leave this new man. And I mean, as much as like, it's a lot of heartbreak or whatever to go through to come back to the same realization, she might have genuinely realized through being apart from Ted that she misses him more than whatever the problem was. And Ted has done some soul searching, Ted has done some growing. So like, I think they could make it work if they got back together. And then they could all move to London together and then we could have them all back.
Right.
Thank you. Oh, sorry.
Nope.
I just love this show so much.
I've been dreading this. Talking to you, abandoning you.
What? No, hold on, coach. You ain't.
You're not abandoning him, you're living your life.
You're just following your heart.
That's even more reason for Ted to move here with his entire family.
You should go.
I love you, Ted.
And oh my god, you can message each other all the time about life problems and silly things. I'm literally just season 4 in my head. Is it the Amsterdam man?
Rebecca.
Oh, they can get together and she can have a stepdaughter. That's really nice. I'm really emotional.
The new manager of AFC Richmond, Roy Kent.
I like that. And I feel like in my future where there is a season 4, and I'm sorry I'm ruining this by going on about season 4, but it's literally the only thing stopping me from hysterically sobbing right now because I'm feeling a lot of emotions. He would totally be like co-manager with Ted or something. Like, it would work. And he's playing for Nigeria, which he deserves so much. No, I don't like this. Like, I genuinely know. Like, I know that's what this show is all about, but like, this man's abuse was more than just an alcohol problem. We didn't redeem Rupert. Rupert didn't get to be all pally with everybody. Rebecca and Rupert aren't besties now. Why are we redeeming the abuser who left when Jamie was little? Left the home, gone, and then came back when he was starting to get good at football. Only then what did he do? Fucking took him to get sexually assaulted, because at 14 you cannot consent. And then gets in his head the entire time with emotional abuse, potentially physical abuse, until the point where he's an adult and the first time he ever fights back, he's like 24. Like, that is not somebody you should have in your life. Like, okay, I guess it's nice for Jamie that seemingly he's happy and friendly now and clean. Like, in my head, this is like a farewell conversation. This is a talking it through, an apology, and like, I'm clean now and I'm sorry, and Jamie being like, okay, I take that, I'm gonna go live my life now, you live yours. Yay, Rebecca's with them, that's so good. Sorry, Ted and Henry would be so happy here. The Richmond way. Yes, way overdue. Because most teams have a women's team. Oh, good. Yay. Everyone's together but Ted, but I'm so happy that Roy's in therapy. Ted would be here. I'm happy for him and Henry, because they should be together.
Hey, Henry, come here, man.
You're gonna start doing it right with the kids from a young age.
I can't believe I missed that. Be a goldfish.
That's right. All right, now come on now. Get on out there. Have some fun.
Really emotional right now. I don't know how much of a review I do. I feel like I did a lot of my review in the previous episode. I love this show. I love everything it stands for. I think they did take their forgive everybody message too far with James Tart, because Jamie can maybe have like a civil conversation with the man, but what? But other than that, everything this show is the way it inspires you to be kinder, the way it inspires you to view the world and yourself in a better place. And the world is so fucking dark that sometimes you need a little light, and I feel like this show is a little light in the world. And I've gone on about it a lot that I'm hoping there's gonna be a season 4. I have no idea if I'm ever putting this on YouTube. If you see this reaction on YouTube, you will probably know either way if there is a season 4.
Hello, future editing Joy from 2025 here to say that by the time I'm editing this and it is going up on YouTube, obviously we know a lot more about season 4. Season 4 is currently filming, and it is going to be based around the new Richmond women's team rather than the original team that we had before. And I just want to say how I feel about that now. Like, this show, it's been almost a year now since the show became an absolute hyperfixation of mine, and although the like of it has faded, I have got pretty much everyone I know to watch this show, and this show will always be incredibly special to me. It's always one of my special interests now. So I will watch season 4 of Ted Lasso, but I will say I'm not currently as excited for it as I was thinking about the potential of it at this point. And that's for a couple of reasons. Now, one of them is because it's not going to be the same show. Like, I mean, that's the main reason it's not going to be the same show. Like, yes, it's going to have Ted and Rebecca, and I imagine Keeley, Roy will be in it, but the team that we've come to know and love aren't going to be in it. And I like the idea of a show centered around the Women's Super League. Is that what it called? It's WSL. My brain can't even think what it was. You know about the Women's Super League. Christ, I spent this summer sobbing my heart out with the Lionesses. Like, that's not a problem for me. My issue with it being the women's team stems from it being Ted Lasso. Like, Ted was brilliant because he was able to come into this team of young men and help them break through the toxic masculinity that they've been taught, help them figure out the better way to be the best versions of themselves. And the concept of him doing the exact same thing with a group of young women doesn't sit well with me. Like, maybe they'll find a way to do it. Maybe they're going to have a different approach this, like, season 4. But what made Ted Lasso wouldn't work with women. It would if they just did a simple spin-off with somebody who was not Ted Lasso as the coach, a woman in particular, a Serena Wiegman type, like she's almost like Ted Lasso but in the real world, someone like that helping a group of young women to find their best versions of themselves, that would be great. But I feel like there's a part of me, there's like a big part of me that's like, I don't want a man going around telling these young women how to live their lives. And then the other thing of it is, I want the spin-off about the women and a season 4 of Ted Lasso about the men. And I don't care how unrealistic it is, I want all of the main characters in it. Like, I don't want to watch it without Jamie being a main character. I don't want to watch it without Colin popping up all the time, and Danny annoyed me, but like Sam. Imagine if Sam's not a regular character, which I don't think he's going to be. So, I am very transparent about the fact, especially like in the hyperfixation months since I finished watching, my two favorite characters in the show are Roy and Jamie. Roy, pretty much always my favorite character from very, very early on. Jamie, one of my most hated characters, rocketed up to, I think, like by the end, Jamie is my favorite character. But when you look at the overall arc, he and Roy are equal. It's kind of where I'm at. So I'm like disappointed on a personal level because I imagine there'll be a cameo from some other people, but it's just not going to be the same show. And I wish they would either just call it something different, have it be a complete spin-off, or make it be about the original cast, the original people, because that's the show that I know and love. And I think like the women deserve a better coach than Ted, and that is no disservice to Ted because Ted is brilliant, but where Ted is brilliant won't work with women. Like, I don't want a man mansplaining how to be a woman to a bunch of women. So I'm sure, this is my apprehension about it, because season 3 wasn't perfect, this show as a whole wasn't perfect, but it was pretty damn close. Like, it had some very special moments overall. There are definitely things that I talk about in this review that I would change or whatever, but so I'm like, maybe they're gonna have a way around my current apprehension, and by the end of season 4 I'm gonna be like, wow, why was I so apprehensive about that in 2025? Stupid me, it's fantastic. But what do you think about it? Anyway, I have waffled on about this. I think I've said everything I wanted to say, and I will go take you back to past Joy in her review of this wonderful show.
I'm watching this in October of this episode in October of 2024 for clarification. If this is on YouTube, it's one of my favourite shows. It's just, I don't know, sometimes editing can be stressful and whatever. Thank you, Pamela, so much for sponsoring this season. I loved it. I think I knew I loved the first 2 seasons, but I kind of forgot just how much, and then I've fallen very head over heels with it. And then I made the really dumb decision to allow my hyperfixation brain to hyperfixate over it this weekend right before I watched the final episode. So like, I'm really emotional right now. I did like it. I think it wasn't a perfect ending. I didn't like, obviously, Jamie and his father. To me, that is what the fuck? Clearly nobody in the writing team has actually had an abusive father, which I'm thankful about. But they didn't ever write a single redeeming thing in that man, and suddenly we're meant to be like happy that Jamie's spending time with him, because I'm not, because he's gonna do something in the future that's gonna fuck with Jamie again, and it doesn't make me happy. But the other thing I didn't like was the way they resolved or didn't resolve Roy and Keeley, because like, and they're having Jamie still being like, I think she's gonna get with me, because that just wasn't the vibe I was getting, and maybe I was misreading it the entire time. And like, obviously, yes, Jamie's still very young, and it's his first person he's in love with, and he hasn't met anyone else since, so like, I'm not hating on any of the characters. I don't think it was out of character. But for them to like physically get in an altercation and then tell Keeley to pick between them, and then she just slams the door in their face, that was kind of, I mean, when she slammed the door in their face, I was with her, don't get me wrong. It just felt like that was juvenile, and like, all of both of their characters have expanded from there. Jamie has accepted the fact that Roy and Keeley are together, and that he's not gonna just use them not being together as an opportunity to get back with her, and then suddenly he's using it as an opportunity to get back with her, which obviously he left it a respectful amount of time between Roy and Keeley breaking up. And then I understand why Roy was hopeful, because they had slept together, they were talking. But I feel like both of their characters kind of regressed. Not all the way, but like season 2 level or something, they regressed. Which I will say, people aren't perfect, as Beard said, like, even people who have grown and healed and come a really long way can fuck up. And so I feel like they just, for some reason, didn't want to end the show with Roy and Keeley together. So they had to think of, there is literally no reason for these characters to not give it another shot. What can we do? And they were like, oh, let's just have Roy and Jamie have a fist fight and then ask her to choose. Like, whereas I would have respected it far more if Keeley had just said, look, I really like you as a friend and I'm hoping we can stay friends, but I think that time has passed for us now. Like, it would make me sad, but I think that would be better than that. Other than that, it was a pretty outstanding ending. Other than those two things, now, I'm pretty sure, see, as much as this was the final season, I feel like they were also leaving the door wide open. Like, Rebecca didn't sell the club. That was one of my big, I was like, how the hell am I supposed to do this if she sells the whole club? Selling it to the fans, beautiful, 10 out of 10. I mean, half of it, less than half of it, obviously. But, like, some things, so, like, Rebecca, bless her, Rebecca, they gave her a boyfriend, but then, like, I'm so happy she gets a kid, she gets the Amsterdam boatman, everything's perfect. But Ted and his wife, Michelle, I couldn't think of her name for a second. They didn't clarify Michelle dumping this creepy couples counselor, which I have a feeling she did, because when they were in London, she was over him, and then he was just being such a dick throughout the entire time they were watching football. And, like, I get it, okay? I mean, I have been that person. Admittedly, at the time, I was like a 13-year-old girl. Like, ugh, football's boring, and they just kick the ball up in the pitch, and they score 0-0, because I was like, girls don't like sports, and I'm a girl, so I'm not allowed to like sport. And then I got over myself, and I was like, oh, I really like sport. So, get that. If you're not into it, and if you're not into football, like, to be honest, if someone I loved was like, oh my god, I want to watch the NFL right now, I'd be like, but, like, they just knock each other over even when the ball's not involved and throw it for, like, I could be as petty as I wanted. I mean, I did watch the Super Bowl last year because I love Taylor Swift, I'm a Swiftie, and my even more Swiftie than me friend was in Canada, was watching it, and so I was like, what the fuck? I'll stay up and watch the Super Bowl, why not? And, like, I kind of enjoyed it, but I didn't really understand it, and I didn't particularly enjoy it, and I was probably on my phone. I was playing Sims at the time, but, like, I understand that maybe you're not always going to enjoy the thing that your loved one likes, but you don't have to be shit about it. You can just say, this football, this soccer, as he'd call it, is your guys' thing, so I'll leave you to it and I'll go read in my room or something, and then, like, when it's over, we can all go out for dinner. You know, you can do something like that where you can make it, like, not be like, oh, I think it's really boring and shit, but instead he just made out that he thought it was really boring and shit the whole time. So I am assuming they broke up, and they didn't clarify if she and Ted got back together or not. And I feel like that is the sort of answer we deserve as viewers, because we've been through so much with Ted, and I don't necessarily think they will, but I also don't necessarily think they won't, and I want to know. Because I could see a season 4 where Ted's really missing Richmond, and Richmond's missing him, and he chooses to move and live in London. I mean, let's face it, the UK is not a paradise, and I'm not trying to say it's a good place. It's a very terrifying place to be. But if you do have money like they do, you're probably better off. But, like, the number of, like, school shootings and whatnot, the rise of Trump, I mean, we do have the Tories here and, like, Nigel Farage and people, but, like, I don't think, like, if I met someone online and they were American and we fell in love, I would not be moving to America. Like, I'm sorry, like, they will have to come here, because I'm not going to live in America. So I feel like, for safety reasons, coming here, and kind of all of Ted's closest friends are here. We never really saw him. I'll find out my old mate Mike. I'm gonna go talk to Mike now. He didn't really seem to have that many people he was close to other than Beard and his family and his teams, which I do think he's often held himself back from a lot of people and thrown himself into his teams, which is something he'll do less of now. But it would be very easy for them to move back. Now, obviously, the slight logistics is Richmond has a coach, but as much as in the real world, I don't think a club would bring back an old coach and have 2 managers. I think in the Taylor Lasso world, that could totally happen, and I don't think Roy would begrudge him them coming back. I don't even think he would begrudge, like, Ted might even be willing to be, like, assistant coach or something. I don't know. Obviously, if they do a season 4, the logistics will be worked out, because the show is literally called Ted Lasso, so as much as he's like, it's not all about me, which it isn't, I think that's one of the beautiful things about this show. And one of the things that initially I was apprehensive about was, I was like, so it's some American who knows nothing about football, and he's going to come over and, like, lord it, not lord, I didn't ever think he'd lord it over people, but suddenly be a genius and be brilliant about it, and it's going to be all about him. Like, I don't really know. And obviously I gave it a chance because it was sponsored, and it's absolutely not that. Like, yes, it's ridiculous that he was hired in the first place. That obviously we understand why. But this show has come to represent so much more than that, and these characters have come to mean so much across the board. You know, in season 1, people like Isaac didn't really have that much of a part, and then that's been expanded upon. Like, just so many characters that are so special, and it is about more than just Ted. Like, I think if they were naming the show today, they wouldn't call it Ted Lasso. They would probably call it AFC, like the Richmond Way or something. I mean, again, I don't know what they'd call it. Ted Lasso is quite a like catchy name in a way, but I do wonder whether or not like they regret calling it that. I think they partly called it that because I've since learned that when it comes up that this is based on an NBC format, I was always confused by that because I was like, this is not a like sequel of a show, or this is not a reboot, but it's because Jason Sudeikis did skits of like adverts for the coverage of the Premier League in America where he was pretending to be Ted Lasso, the American football coach in London, and that's what they based it on and based the show on. That's so funny. I've lost my train of thought completely. Oh my god. But yeah, the show is so much more than just Ted Lasso. So unless they were to do a new season but call it Richmond and then it be like a reboot, I think it would work with him coming back because so many things are unrealistic and I don't fucking care. My biggest fear about a potential season 4 is people not being in it. Now, the ones that I'm obviously I would be the most upset about not being in it would be Roy and Jamie because they are like my favorite characters as much as they frustrate me sometimes, like in this episode. But like I've enjoyed their stories so much, and like from the very beginning, like watching how like Roy surprised me and things like that, watching their friendship and watching Jamie's growth has been really lovely to see. Obviously Ted, but I think given that it is literally called Ted Lasso, that is a given. It would also be very weird if Coach Beard wasn't around. I would be more okay with Nate not being around, largely because, like I said, he's gone from being a loved character to I like him, but I'll always remember that side of him, which maybe is a flaw in my character that I need to work on. I'll think about it. And I do think with more time in the show that would ease, but like as things stand, he's still kind of lowish down. But I also really like Nick Mohammed, so I would be quite happy for him to, I obviously want him to come back. But characters, even, you know, Sam, Danny, Isaac, Colin, characters who have had plot lines, have had things to say, I would be devastated if they weren't in it. And then even like Jan Mass and Bumbercatch and like people that haven't necessarily had that much, they've just been part of the team. I want everybody back. Now, obviously, I mainly want the main people back, but like, I need them all to come back. And if one of the actors has something scheduled that's a conflict, fucking wait. Push it back 6 months and do it then. Push it back 2 years and do it then. Because this show is not the show without all of the main cast. And while, yes, in the real world, footballers would leave. They would go, you know, Jamie could go and play in Spain for a bit. Like, yes, that is realistic, but that's not Ted Lasso. That's not the Ted Lasso world. In the Ted Lasso world, they stay at Richmond. These Premier League level players stay at Richmond even when Richmond is demoted. Like, it's a family and there's something special about it that is unique, and that is why they stay. And it's not realistic, and that's okay. And so I think it would be wrong if any of the main cast aren't in it, and that would make me scared. And so I'm really scared they'll ruin it in a season 4 and I won't want to watch it. But what they did give me was perfect. And like all season I've been feeling like Ted was going to go back to Kansas. And so I am devastated because I just think he's part of his family and this is a second home to him. But I also fully agree that like his priority and his primary home is his son, and he had to go back to him, especially when his son was struggling. But I think they can all move to London and everything will be perfect. Rebecca, I'm so fucking glad she didn't sell the club, because whoever has ownership of the club can change so much. You can change the dynamic, and you know, you can set. I don't think she'd have just sold it to the first bidder or whatever, but I think when it comes to it, she could sell it to someone who doesn't have the greatest intentions, or that person could then sell it on to somebody else. And the whole dynamic of the culture can change. They can bring in loads of Zavas who would change the dynamic fully. Or they can decide that they don't want Roy Kent to be the manager. They want someone more experienced or someone with more fire behind them. They might just not like Roy and they can fire him. Like, managers can just, a bit like when Rebecca took over and fired the dude who was managing West Ham today. Like, whoever owns it can completely change the dynamic of the club, and that was terrifying me because I was like, we can't lose. I was pretty caught, like, with losing Ted, I was kind of like, well, we're not going to hire anybody else. It's going to end up being like Nate or Roy or someone. I can deal with that. But if Rebecca sold it, I was so scared about how these players in my team don't deserve this. So I'm really glad she didn't, and I love that she sold it to the fans. I had a feeling she was going to sell it to the fans, especially when they were like, "Thank you for everything you've done." Um, so that was brilliant. And Keely is shining in her firm with Rebecca helping her, and they're going to do a women's team. Thank you very much. I don't know if this has ever occurred to me before, but it is weird that they don't have a women's team. And now I'm genuinely thinking, like, do any of these Premier League clubs not have a women's team? Because most of them do, and like, it's not watched as much as the men's, unfortunately, but it's there. Um, but then there's another part of me that's like, oh, there's a season 4. Are we gonna have split focus between the men's team and the women's team? Because like that would be great because there are not enough women on this show, but I also want screen time for all of my favorite characters, and I don't like change. But they would have a different manager and they would like their own locker room and stuff, so it's fine. So I love that idea. And in my head, Roy and Keely can still work things out with time, especially with him going to therapy. That was one of the best parts of this episode, was him going to therapy, because he's acknowledged that he wants to change, he's acknowledged that he's tried to change, and he's realised it's okay to ask for help. This show means the world to me, and I'm going on and on about this 4th season, and it's going to look really embarrassing if I post this on YouTube in 2 years and then didn't make one. But this show is just something special, and it's definitely a show I will rewatch, and it's definitely a show I recommend. And it's made me emotional on numerous occasions. Some of them have taken me by surprise. Just absolutely fantastic, brilliant, perfect show. I mean, I say perfect, it's probably like, it has its imperfection moments, it has its odd plot lines here and there that I didn't like, but on the whole, perfect show. Aspirational show for how the world should be. Thank you so much, Pamela, for sponsoring this season, and thank you for watching.